This is our first podcast, and we will be looking at the onion prices. And we will be also seeing that what is the economic factor behind it and why the onion prices are crashing drastically. That we will be looking at an instance where in this podcast itself, where a 2 rupees check was given to a farmer after deducting all the charges for the produce that they have done throughout the year. So let us discuss actually what happened. So what happened is that the farmers were forced the suspension of trading at Lasalgaon, India's largest wholesale market for onions, located in Maharashtra's Nasik district. Following a crash in prices, the president of the Maharashtrian State Onion Growers Association, Bharat Dighole, has threatened stoppage of auctions in other market as well. So why actually have onion prices have crashed, that we have to see. So let's have a background before deep diving into what is actually happening in our country regarding the onion prices. So farmers grow three crops in the bulk, that is kharif, that is transplanted in June July and harvested in September October. Then there is a late kharif, which is transplanted in September, October, and harvested in January, February. And Rabi, transplanted in December, January, and harvested in March, April. The harvested crop isn't marketed at one go. Farmer usually sell in tranches, ensuring no price collapse from a bunching of arrivals. The Kharif onions are marketing right up to February and the late Kharif till May June. Both Kharif and late Kharif onions contain high moisture, which allows them to be stored for a maximum of 4 months. This is unlike the Rabi onions, which grown during the winter spring months, have low moisture content and can be stored for at least 6 months. It is the Rabi crop that feeds the market throughout the summer and monsoon months till October. So the current market collapse has primarily to do with a sudden rise in temperature from around the second week of February. Onions containing high moisture are prone to quality deterioration from heat shock, with the abrupt drying up leading to shriveling of the bulbs. Now, normally, the farmers would have been selling only the kharif crop now, but the extreme heat this time has forced them to offload even the late kharif onions, which can no longer be stored. Since both kharif and late kharif onions are arriving at the same time and the prices have fallen. So, if we are talking about the economic prospect of it, you will see that due to the high supply and due to the low demand in the domestic market have shoot down the prices of onions so drastically. The demand is very low but the supply is very high because there are extreme summers which are coming up. It's February itself, we have seen the the highest temperature recorded in February in 122 years. The news is coming up. So how much prices have fallen, we will be talking later on, but let us see what is the scenario of international bodies. Philippines, Pakistan, Netherlands, Europe, in every part of the world majorly you will see that the prices of onion are shooting up due to, well, the bad weather. Why cannot we look into the international aspect where demand is high, supply is low? Why cannot we bridge this gap? We will be also talking it later on. So is there any other reason for drop in prices? Well, Maharashtra accounts for about 40% of India's annual onion production of 25 to 26 million tons, out of which 1.5 and 1.6 million tons is exported. Beside Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh 16 to 17%, Karnataka 9 to 10, Gujarat 6 to 7, Rajasthan 5 to 6. Now, improved water availability from good monsoon rains this time has induced farmers in MP, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Gujarat to plant onion over a large area. The off the bulb from all the states together but forced offload of late kharif crops triggered price collapse. Now, there was a farmer, Tukaram Chavan, received a check of rupees 2 after reduction of expenses of his 500 quintal produce at Solapur. Look at the extent that farmers are bringing their high earned money. They're using their high earned money to load the tractors, bring their produce to the mandis, and they are getting the price of rupees 2. They are not even selling it, they are laying the whole produce over the roads itself. Look at the situation. Now, let us see what is the economic aspect of it and why the things are happening here. Let us look at a relationship between demand and supply, why exports are hindered in here, and what is the actual political agenda and field is going plain off. So we will be looking at the simple scenario, how we are looking at the onion prices and what is the actually uh, economy behind it. So if you check real on, the onion prices are shoot up due to high supply and demand is less. So let us figure out what is actually happening here. So economic prospect, what actually happening is that due to the kharif crop and late kharif crop, both of them are coming at a single time due to extreme weathers, the supply have shoot up due to the domestic demand. Due to the domestic demand has lowered up drastically. We have seen that inflation. What is the inflation? Inflation when prices shoot up. Prices shoot up due to high in demand. Here the demand is low. That means prices is down, and for the onion itself it's deflation. Now, thinking of one thing, that why do not government, we have seen in Europe there is Netherlands and many various country, in Southeast Asia there is Philippines, we have seen major countries, Turkey itself, Pakistan, you see that the prices, if you check the Philippines price, if you convert into rupees, it's 1100 rupees per kg. What prices the farmers are getting is rupees 5, 6, 2, 3 merely. This is the price actually. However, you will see that in the market it is sold for 20 rupees. That is the supply chain, because when a farmer who is a manufacturer sells their supply to the mandi, then mandi distributes it to various wholesaler, you can say, then it goes to various retailers, and then it goes to consumers. So here which we are looking at, that here the mandi one puts their margin on, wholesaler puts their margin on, retailer they put their margin on, the consumer they put their, and once the consumer pays the price, it pays the price including of that margin. That's why we are seeing that the consumer perspective, the prices of onion is not that much change, but we will be looking at in the further do that the prices of once we go into the future, the prices of onions will be lowered and the benefit will be to the consumer as well. But what about farmers? Because due to this they have taken loans, they cannot even pay the cost of it, they are in losses. How they will pay the loan? This is the context here. Now people thinking that if there is high demand in international market, supply is less. This is the scenario of internationally. Why don't India distribute the excess supply to international market? Well, if you check, exports are not easy. It requires a lot of paperwork. It requires a lot of expertise. It requires a lot of money. and subsequently it requires container boxes. You have seen the big container boxes in which goods are loaded up and supplied off. There is actually a shortage of such containers boxes, due to which export is never easy. That's why the farmer who are bringing their produce from their land to the mandis are forced to sell it off for even less than cost price. They are forced, and this I'm not talking about the inferior quality one. The superior quality one onion right now is being sold off for such a bad price that their cost cannot even recover. The consequences of it will be borne by the government itself. They will be writing off their loan, waiving off their loan, which will directly impact their fiscal deficit. And this continues over because we see that India is a mixed economy. So we have both of the expect. We have to see capitalism as well. We have to see socialism as well. So under the purview of socialism, this will going to be happen, and this is inevitable. So this is actually the economic prospect of the onion prices which have lowered down, and we have seen that how the aggregate supply and aggregate demand in the domestic and aggregate demand and aggregate supply in the international market is playing their role, and what is the hindrance to bridge the gap of excess supply and deficit supply which is happening in internationally. Now let us look actually what is going on with the farmer perspective in here. What a personal value of a farmer is counted under. How the individual farmer mindset is going on right now. So we have seen that Nasik district farmers decree low prices for their onion produce, are sent to do something. They are saying that give us the fair price or we are going to commit suicide. In the face of financial difficulties, farmers in the state's Nasik district have asked the central government to grant them permission to commit suicide. Agriculture workers are in dire straits as onion prices have dipped recently. So, if we see that last week, 63-year-old farmer Rajendra Chavan, who resides in Barshi Tehsil of Solapur, was compensated rupees 2.49, yes, 2.492 rupees and 49 paise for 512 kg of onion at the rate of 100 rupees per quintal. After deduction of transportation, weighing, labors, and other costs, he received the partly sum for his crop. The onions are being sold at rupees 300 to 400 per kg in the mandi vegetable market that we say. They have already spent a lot of money and they are not even able to make it of it one fourth. I'm talking about the farmers. So this is the situation which is actually going on with them, and there lies a lot of bigger tensions which are potential to be coming in the further months. Also, the intervention of government is very necessary in here because they are the one who can play in the front line and help these poor farmers. However, the farmer itself and the mandi itself should be so organized that storage warehouse should be taken under consideration, because mostly the late kharif crop came here because of the extreme weather. If government can provide an organized way to store it, it could not have been, and we would have controlled the supply coming into the market. This is the postcard first. We will be talking about the different topic, that is Russia versus Ukraine, in the postcard second. Do subscribe our channel, like and share this as much as you want, and spread your love. Bye bye.